Hello, and welcome to another edition of the 50-50 Football Podcast, where football opinions are split right down the middle, and every debate is up for discussion. Football has a way of stopping time, and not just for 90 minutes, for the next month. We are going to see nations dream, heroes being born, and entire generations finding themselves holding their breath. The World Cup is more than a tournament, and from the 11th of June to the 19th of July, it is football's grand stage where hope travels better than logic and belief often outruns expectation. For Ghana, that journey begins again. The Black Stars stand on the edge of another World Cup campaign. The squad has been named, the debates are raging. Some names made the flight, others were left behind. Questions continue to linger, expectations rise, and somewhere between doubt and destiny lies a group featuring England, Croatia, and Panama. Today, we examine the men chosen to carry a nation's hopes. We look back at the final rehearsal against Wales and a possible game against any other side, according to Carlos Queiroz, and whether Ghana is truly ready for the challenge ahead. We break down the obstacles, the opportunities, and the path out of Group L. And because no World Cup is complete without bold predictions, we are going to reveal our picks for the finalists of the champions, the dark horses, the Golden Boot winners, and many others who would capture the world's imagination. This is the 50-50 Football Podcast, and the conversation starts now. My name is Kelvin also, as I'm hosting this with Nana Asari. Today, our special guest, Kalanka, ready to serve us with the very best as we discuss a lot more about Team Ghana and then the World Cup.
Chairman,
we are with this elaborate intro as per usual.
There's no bigger intro man than him.
I promise you. But there's a 2-part series, right?
Yeah, 2-part series. You know, we are just 2 days away from the greatest tournament on earth, right?
The Mundial.
A festival of countries, cultures, and absolute beautiful football.
That's right.
So, I mean, we've had tournaments before, but this is a special World Cup, mostly because it is different from all the previous iterations of the World Cup. And the least we can do, is prepare our listeners to, be ready for what they are about to see from June 11th all the way to July 19th. So I'm just going to do a quick breakdown of what the tournament looks like, and then we can get into the groups and give our opinions on how we see the groups going, who we think are going to come out of the groups, and what other upsets and other stuff that we can get into.
Sounds like a plan to me, because I know a lot of people have questions about the groupings, the dynamics, and the technicalities associated with who qualifies and whatnot. So let's get into it.
All right. So because this 2026 FIFA World Cup is unlike anything we've ever seen before, this isn't your grandfather's 32-team tournament. FIFA went big this time. It's a 48 nations dreaming of glory, all descending on the United States, Canada, and Mexico.
Right.
All right. So those 48 teams are split into 12 groups of 4. Just like previous World Cups, they are all groups of 4. Each group plays what we call a round robin, which means every team plays against every other team in the group. So all 4 teams play against each other. There'll be 3 games per team, and that is 3 chances to prove you belong in the knockout phase. Now, in the old format, 2 teams would go through from each group, and that would be simple and clean. But this time, because of the expanded nature of the World Cup, we may have 3 teams advancing from some groups. So the top 2 teams still go through straight, no questions asked. But the third place spots, will have 8 third place spots who will be eligible to get into the round of 32. So that's essentially puts a wrinkle in the whole system. Like, it's something that we've not seen before. Is this something that you're excited about?
I mean, for a fan, I get to watch more games.
Yeah.
For a punter or an investor, I get more avenues to spread my investment, right?
Yeah.
So
more chances to win and more chances to lose.
Exactly. But from a football purist perspective, we can get into it. I think that would derail our conversation. But let's see.
Yeah. So
what else should we expect?
So the best 8 third place finishers across all the 12 groups would also qualify. And then that would give us a round of 32, which we are not used to because normally it would be a 32 team and then we'll go into a round of 16. But now we'll have a round of 32 knockout phase. The 32 teams in the knockout phase is going to play just like the previous situation. We're playing a single elimination. So it's win or go home, essentially in the round of 32. And from then on, we get into the round of 16, then the quarterfinals, then the semifinals, and eventually the final. So all in all, there'll be 104 matches across the tournament. So whether you are riding with Ghana in Group L like I am, or watching Spain and Portugal navigate their paths, France playing the Juga Bonita that we expect to see from Brazil rather, it's just going to be a whole host of beautiful games to watch across the full month of June and July. So buckle up, 2026 World Cup.
Anyway, I think it's going to be an interesting World Cup, the biggest we've ever seen. And in North America, across 3 countries.
I think there's an avenue for a lot of stories, underdog stories. More heroes will be made in this World Cup. We're going to see new people come up, new players come up, and start to stake their claim as the world best, and how this World Cup will impact Ballon d'Ors and everything going forward.
I agree. I mean, a lot of subplot in here and there, but today is a quick hits day.
Yeah.
Let's move from group to group. We want to do like our preview, the 50-50 football podcast preview. We'll do all 12 groups. We'll try and hit every group. We'll probably spend some more time on some groups, ask a few questions on dark horses, who to expect from what. And then in part B, we'll delve more into Ghana in Group L, the dynamics of Group L. We have Carl Anka here to give us his thoughts, especially on Thomas Tuchel's England and Ghana, how I would say we've been decimated by injuries as well, right? So it's a packed show, 2-part series, and we'll get right into Group A. So Group A, we have Mexico. They are hosting. They are co-hosts, I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
There's South Africa, there's South Korea, and there's Czech Republic. And the first game of the tournament on June 11th is being played at the famous and historical Azteca Stadium in Mexico. Remember, that's where we played the 1986 World Cup final. Diego Maradona's crowning moment when he won the World Cup for his beloved Argentina. I'm not so sure if that's where they played the famous quarterfinal game between England and Argentina, where he scored the hand of God. But Azteca is a famous, Azteca is a famous stadium. Yeah, it's hosted a lot of historical games. Now, the interesting thing is that Mexico have never failed to qualify out of the group whenever they've hosted the World Cup. But they face a tough opposition in South Africa.
I think that first game is a good fixture, mostly because it is like a repeat of the opening fixture in 2010.
That is exactly what I was going to say.
and that ended in a draw. So
1-1, right?
Yeah.
Sifiwe Shabalala with the first goal, and then I think they equalized through. I'm not sure if it was Rafa Marquez through a corner. I think
it was Raul Jimenez.
It was Raul Jimenez. Raul Jimenez was there in 2010. No.
No. Was it? It was Chicharito that was there in 2010. Hold on, let me just check. I think it was.
I would have said, hell no. I'm even doubting Chicharito in 2010.
No, Chicharito was there in 2010. It was literally after that World Cup is when United.
That's when he made the move, eh?
Yeah.
I see. So it's a repeat of the fixture. It's going to be very, very interesting. But let's look at the other teams as well. There's Czech Republic and then there's South Korea. The South Koreans, if there's one thing we know about the Koreans, is that they are disciplined.
Yep.
They are super, super disciplined. Listen, if everyone had the discipline, virtue or value of Koreans, I think we would all, do well and achieve our goals. They have stars like Son Heung-min, who's in the twilight of his career now.
Yep, exactly what I was going to call. Like, in as much as he's still a star, how much can he really contribute? I mean, he's been playing in the MLS, so maybe he has an edge in terms of when it comes to the weather, considering how hot it will be for this World Cup.
Exactly. And honestly, when we started, previewing the World Cup, we started having these discussions. I didn't think weather would have much of a big difference until I watched a few of the friendly games and I realized a lot of the Scandinavian countries were struggling.
Yeah,
and we can get into that. But before we move to Group B, let's not forget that I think Mexico they are the favorites to qualify out of this group, especially because they are playing at home. They have the home advantage. The atmosphere, the Azteca will be a major weapon. And listen, our Mexican friends, they love their football.
Yeah,
they love their football. So,
but
I think, what do you think?
In some ways, I think they have a fan base that is similar to the Ghanaian football fan base, in the sense that
they are unforgiving,
unforgiving. They add more pressure to the team that they would support.
Oh my God.
I recently watched a podcast where Chicharito was actually like speaking on this, essentially like it's more pressure and more weight on the players playing in front of the Mexican fans, because it's almost always criticism as opposed to when can we get a bit of support here.
I promise you. So a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Captain Edson Alvarez, and let's not forget our man Guillermo Ochoa. At age 40, I believe,
the World Cup hero.
His fifth World Cup appearance. So, there are some players who just appear every 4 years. They just appear during tournaments. We can get into Ochoa is definitely one of them. He's a World Cup legend. He's never won it, but he will forever be a World Cup legend.
And he always give you moments in the World Cup where you're like, what does he play again?
But hey, let's not forget our South African friends, right? So Mokoena will be marshalling things from midfield. Let's not forget that Lau Foster will be leading the attack over there. Sitole will be in midfield as well, controlling affairs. And I think it will be a tough tournament for them. They have an experienced coach in Hugo Broos, though.
Yes. But, and I think they've also come up leaps and bounds since like 2010. Like they are, I think they are a better side in terms of like chemistry, how they play. Like there's a bit more cohesion within that team, and this group doesn't necessarily have like any clear advantage over anyone. So if they are able to play to instruction, they should be able to cause an upset or even make it possible for them to get to the round of 32.
Right, and I agree with you. They are a better team, but they lack individuals. Like in the past, they would have the Benny McCarthy's, the Sean Bartlett's, the Sinyambonga Nonvetis, the Sifiwe Chabalales, but Stephen Pines. But unfortunately, they don't have these individuals.
Sometimes that's all you need. You need people to play exactly how you tell them, and then as long as the tactical plan is good enough, it might yield some results. You won't win it though, but you might do better than people think you will.
Right. So quick hits. Let's do like a predicted finish, and then we'll move to Group B. So Mexico to top the group. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Mexico will top the group.
South Korea come in close second or distant second, and then perhaps South Africa close third, and Czech Republic fourth.
We are really underestimating the Czech Republic. I mean,
I know I'm using my Africa bias,
and I'm going to lean heavily towards the African teams because I want a lot of the African teams to do well and come out. I would love justify the expansion and getting more picks. So I would love South Africa to come in second. Actually, I would love South Africa to come in
second.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think it will be tough.
It will be tough.
I'm thinking like a good third,
like a 3 point, 4 point third position.
Yeah, that puts them in pole position to qualify as part of the top, finishing.
Yeah.
But like you said, we can't discount the Czech Republicans. The last time they lost was I don't even remember, but they won against Guatemala 3-1. They won against Kosovo. Of course, they should win against Kosovo. But they won against Denmark, which is huge, right? They won on penalties against Ireland as well. So which is also huge as well. So we can't really discount them.
Not at all. I'm actually looking at the weather being one of the reasons that
the weather,
them.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree.
So I'm hoping that South Africa can take advantage of playing in such weather conditions, and then by the time these other teams acclimatize, you've already got the points you need.
Yeah, I agree. But hey, before we move on, shouts to Vladimir Kufal, shouts to Suchek from West Ham, who also plays for the Czech Republicans, and also let's not forget they're coming with a star striker in Patrick Schick, who can be a handful, especially against the African opposition.
Yeah. He's a handful of a striker actually, exactly. and he's performed well in tournaments. So
right,
there are certain players when the tournament starts, you know that they will give you all their all. So those players are people wants to watch, definitely.
Yep, right. Okay, Group B, we have Canada, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Qatar at back. And then there's Switzerland, who of course would have players who always show up every 4 years, including Ricardo Rodriguez and Bill Embolo.
Every tournament, Ricardo Rodriguez. When I saw his name in the
not again
call up, I was like, how is he still playing football?
I said that these players, Bill Embolo, Ricardo Rodriguez, they pop up every 4 years, but they are in the same group as Canada, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Qatar. I think Canada are co-hosts as well. They have home advantage playing at the BMO field in Toronto. I was there just a couple of days ago. They are gearing up with a lot of fun activation. FIFA doing a lot, especially in downtown Toronto. But Bosnia Herzegovina, Qatar, Switzerland. What are your thoughts? Over there? Switzerland, I would say they are tournament specialists. They always find a way to get out.
Yeah. Actually, I'm actually thinking Switzerland and Bosnia to make it out of the group, like the automatic qualification spots.
Yeah, Bosnia, Switzerland, I do believe that they could make it. And then maybe Canada could finish close third.
I just don't forget Canada enough.
They would have Alphonso Davies and Jonathan David, though.
Yeah.
And they would play at home and they would like to prove a point.
I mean, but you can only, how good are you? Like, they've never been a very good team. So,
well, you see, that's the beauty of immigration, right? That's the beauty of immigration, because they have Alphonso Davies in defense, right?
I actually liked. I think was it the last World Cup? I think it was the last World Cup. I like that. They have this player. He plays in their front post. I just forgot his name.
Wasn't it Jonathan David? I think you're making
it wasn't
a lot about him.
No, not Jonathan David. Oh, I'll find it.
Right. And don't forget, they are being coached. I think Jesse Marsh is coaching them. They're Princeton, Ivy League grad Jesse Marsh coaching them. So we are predicting them to finish close third. Hopefully they can produce a historic World Cup run on home soil. But again, our favorite is Switzerland. They are tournament specialists. They have very experienced players in there. Let's not forget Xhaka will be in midfield. For them, and and they have a good spine of a team as well. But we can move quickly to Group C, where we have a lot of interest. I wish we had our friend Abuaji here, who is a big Seleção Brazil fan. So Group C, we have everyone's favorite team. If Brazil are not your favorite team, they are probably your second team. It's like that. We all grew up supporting Brazil.
You know what? I remember the player's name. I think it's Buchanan.
Oh, hopefully he makes it. Hopefully.
Yeah. He was good in their last tournament. He was very,
I remember. Yeah. Anyway, so back to Group C, we have Brazil, Morocco, Haiti. And then
this is Haiti's tournament too. Like, they have a lot of support. They have a lot of home support.
I promise you, that's true.
Their games will be insanely supported.
Honestly. They would have a lot of, I think they are playing one game in Philadelphia. And so there's going to be a lot of support for them. They are playing Brazil in Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken. And then Morocco. And of course, there's Scott McTominay's Scotland as well in Group C. Let's not forget Scott McTominay, his personality has really, really elevated after, the exploits.
I mean, Syria. Since moving to Napoli, he's just been on a tear. He's been very good for Napoli. He's been good for Scotland. When he was even playing for United, he's always been like, they know what they're going to get from him, and he somehow, some way, is a goal threat actually. And it's good on him. I'm happy for him.
I'm very happy for him. And the spectacular Caesar cake he scored to qualify them to the World Cup, right? It's such a beautiful way to.
He is Mr. Scotland at this point.
There's no way they can mention their greatest ever players without mentioning him. But listen, let's not spend time on Scotland. The real team here is Brazil, and no disrespect to the other teams, but it's Brazil. 5-time world champions with arguably the deepest talent pool. Well, I wouldn't say world football. Not in world football these days, but
even in this tournament, I would argue for other teams.
Certainly.
Like France, at least.
Yes, France at least. But Brazil, they've won all their friendly games leading up to the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the last few ones that they played. So they played Egypt, Mohamed Saleh's Egypt. They also played Panama. I think they gave them a whipping against Panama. It was 5-1 or 6-1, one of them.
6-2.
6-2, right?
Yep.
But Morocco, I think they would be a big threat. Morocco would be a big threat. Let's not forget, Brazil have won it 5 times. They've been chasing their 6th title since 2002.
And every year, they actually retrogressed in their pursuit of the 6th one.
It's been up and down. They go up, they come down. The last time they were in the semi-final, they were beaten 7-1 at home at the Maracanã against Germany.
They got there because of home advantage. That is why they got that far. And they were severely beaten. Like
they were beaten to a pulp. and now they are one of the fears is that they have 5 titles and the Germans have 4 now. Remember, the Germans had 3 going into the 2014 World Cup, and they rocked up to South America, Brazil, and then they won the 4th at the Maracanã.
But I don't think Brazil have to worry about Germany at this point.
I mean, Germany, let's not forget that they are tournament specialists, but of course, they haven't done well in the last couple of tournaments. But that's the thing about tournament football, right? One decision here, one motivation here, one this thing here.
True, but the diamond shaft is clearly not firing on all pistons.
Well, we'll get to them. But let's look at Brazil, right? Yeah. I think we both agree that they are likely to finish first. I think the only reason why I believe they can beat Morocco, which might not even be comfortable, is because whenever African teams meet these South American teams or even European teams, it's always the fine details, right? It's always the fine. We get overly excited. Yeah, we get overly excited. Our exuberance is so high. We play a lot of the ball and we make basic mistakes and then they capitalize to beat us.
Yeah.
But the thing about the Moroccans is that the Moroccans play more like Europeans than Africans. They play a hybrid of European football and South American football. But they play with that tenacity, agility, and intensity of the South Americans with the tactical nous of the Europeans.
Yeah, I mean they are a well-drilled side, and they also, like I said, they play to instruction. Like they have their game plan, and they play to the strengths of their players and the benefits of the team in as a whole. They are not, and that is one of the reasons why I think Brazil has been suffering in the last couple of tournaments, because I think football has moved from maverick players, give the ball to your best player and let him, create the chances and score the goals, to now more tactical approaches, which has essentially negated the abilities of some of these individualistic players. So any team that is able to implement their tactics properly, and essentially they will endure, they would just outlast you in the game. And I think Brazil, if to win those tournaments, in as much as the Brazil fans would love to see more of the Joga Bonita football, I think to go as far as they can in this tournament, they would have to play more of a tactical game as opposed to, let Vinicius dribble everyone and then score.
I mean, on a different day, I'll push back on this, but, we don't have much time, so we can get into that debate. I still believe like the main architects on the pitch win the games, right?
I mean, they'll have the opportunities, but majority of those things have been negated with the tactics that they play. So, like, essentially, like doubling up on wingers and stuff like that, kind of like makes it difficult for them to get more opportunities 1v1. So it's just like finally, like they've just had
the real top players don't care if there's 5v1. Listen, I'll never forget Lamine Yamal calling out Diego Simeone, telling him, listen, put men on me. I want it. Put men on me. Within 5 minutes of start, he has scored the first goal. But, that's another conversation. We can get into that later. Yes, it's for another day. But, Brazil have their own problems. Before recording this episode, we know that they've lost their right back in Wesley and inexplicably has been replaced by a central midfielder. I mean, could there be any influence from the Red Devils of the Northeast?
I mean, we all believe, what's his name? Ancelotti is a genius of a coach. So maybe he has seen something that we haven't.
Anyway, right. So they've lost Wesley. Let's see how the
And I think Neymar had an MRI as well.
Yeah,
but I think
Neymar is there not as the main protagonist of the group. I think he's there to unite the country behind the team.
If you are about 15, 20 minutes left and you need a goal, which other bigger maverick to bring on to shot players on the pitch than Neymar?
Well, the unfortunate thing is that he's not even fit to even do that for you at this point. Right. But yeah, that's the truth. But, I'm a big Neymar fan. I love him to bits. But, I think the main reason why he's part of the team is to unite the entire Brazilian population, to support the team. And, I think, our tournaments like this, it helps and it's important. So we believe Alisson is going to be in post for them. Marquinhos is likely going to play in central defense alongside Gabriel in midfield. I think it's going to be the partnership that we've seen between Bruno Guimaraes and Casemiro. And of course, the attack would be led by Vinicius, Rafinha, and Cunha. Maybe Endrick may come up from the bench. You got Thiago, who's also like a full car number 9. Bobby. He says the coach calls him Bobby these days. But let's not forget Morocco, though. I think Morocco have a very decent squad. They have the best right back in the world. They have perhaps arguably one of the best, not even arguably, I think outrightly and unequivocally one of the best tournament goalkeepers in Yassine Bonu.
Yeah,
right.
He's very good. Yeah, very good.
And just take a look at their defense. So they have Ashraf Hakimi at right back, left back. They have Mazraoui. In central defense, they are likely to play Issa Diop, who has come in to replace, and he just naturalized for them. People thought we were going to naturalize and play for Senegal. I don't know the connection to Morocco. I think maybe we can get into that later. But Issa Diop, of Fulham fame, he's going to play for them in central defense with either Naif, Aged, or Rayad. But that's a very strong defense right there.
Yeah. I mean, I think in as much as, we are enamored by Morocco and Brazil, Scotland, I think for their 11, they have a good enough squad in their 11. Their bench may not necessarily have much on there, but with Scott McTominay, and they always play like a dogged brand of football. Like they are going to
make their culture.
Yeah, they're going to make it messy. They're not going to give opportunities away. The only problem is them being able to find the net because they don't really have a lot in attack. But in Scott McTominay and the Aston Villa guy was the McGinn, they always provide a goal. So I think Scotland will have something to say in the group.
I think they finished third. But they will be one of those tough customers, right?
I'm thinking this group might end up with probably maybe Brazil with 9 points and you get those 9-4-4-0 kind of group.
I think Morocco gets more than 4 points. I have a lot of faith in Morocco. Brahim Diaz being the number 10 over there. I think I have a lot of faith in them. Call me crazy, call me excited, but I think they are the real dark horses, especially from Africa, to make it far. Let's not forget they were the semi-final in the last World Cup. But anyway.
Yeah, so we both agree Brazil will top the group.
100%.
And we are going for Morocco to come in second. Scotland to come in third, and then Haiti. I think Haiti will bring the vibes. Yes, but they'll bring the vibes, and then at the end of the day, they'll go home happy because they performed, they participated.
Exactly. So sorry, our Haitian fans who would always enjoy the gru, the Haitian gru, the food. I love the Haitian gru. But yeah, we are sorry, and we'll see you guys in the stadium as well. Group D, and guess who's in Group D? Of course.
Group D, I think is one of the very open groups that we might be surprised who comes out.
Honestly, because there's United States.
Yep, Australia, Paraguay, and then Turkey.
Exactly. And what's his name? Mauricio Pochettino said the president of the United States, His Excellency Donald J. Trump, asked him, "Hey, can we win this?" And he said, "Yes, Mr. President, yes, we can win this." I was like,
The question
are you deceiving the president, or are you giving him confidence?
Will you say no? That's the question. You've been hired to do a job.
I'll be very political. I'll say, well, Mr. President, I think we'll go and fight for the flag.
You've been hired to do a job. Being political, if you don't go as far as possible, you're still going to be sacked. So you might as well just give the vibes to them, like, hey, we are going to win. Get the fans behind you, and then hope that the players can. But I think the reason why I think the USA is a fascinating team to look at in Group D is mostly because they've had a bag of mixed results in terms of the matches they played leading up to the World Cup. like they've won some games and you think, this looks like a good side, they can kick on, and then they lose some games and you're like, I can see where the problems are in the team, but they are generally exciting to watch under Pochettino. And I think this group will also be one of the groups that will be wide open. I don't think anyone can get 9 points from this group. I think they'll just take points off each other. Might be one of those 6-6-6-0 groups. And goal difference might play a big part.
6-6-0 is interesting. Let's not forget the United States, unfortunately, are missing out on their probably the most important central midfielder in Johnny Cardozo, the central midfielder plays for Atletico Madrid. I remember
their centre back, Richards,
Richards,
the
right?
Yeah,
for Crystal Palace, right?
I think he will be available at some point, but I don't know if he'll be available before the starting of the tournament. Yeah, because I mean, I think was there an injury? He missed the last couple of games for Crystal Palace.
He did. Yeah, I think Calvert came in for him, and I think I remember when the first time I watched Johnny Cardozo live in Nashville. It was a friendly between Ghana and United States. We were beaten 4-0 in the first half, and I was wondering who the hell is this, wily bloke in the middle for the USA. So I researched on him and said Johnny Cardozo plays in South America. I was like, this guy won't play in South America for long, and lo and behold, he moved to Betis, and from Betis he moved to Atletico Madrid. So
and the US
that's it for him.
The US team also has like they'll be they'll be like pit bulls on the pitch because they are playing a home World Cup and they would love to do well, and they have players who are like attack dogs. George Weah will be chippy. Tyler Adams, who is also very good in midfield, getting about, puts in the tackle. Like he is constantly chasing and running all over the pitch. Aronson, also very good on the ball, has a good 1v1 ability. Not like the best in the world, but he does his best for Leeds, and will also put what he can do for the US because he's normally coming in off the bench, replacing Pulisic. It is Gio Reyna that I'm not too convinced about.
Gio Reyna might not start. I don't think Gio Reyna starts.
I think he's lost a lot of his form, and I don't know if I think it's a confidence thing. I think he's lost a lot of confidence.
I think it has a lot to do with attitude when he moved to Europe.
And he had issues Dortmund. With the previous US head coach and all of that. So I think, but outside of him, like Pulisic will be up for it.
I was about to say, I think this is Pulisic's kind of moment. He's the darling boy of USA. And let's not forget.
And they have that striker who plays in the championship. He's
yes.
Like center forward, like puts his body about. So I think they have a lot going for them. They just have to be, what do you call it? They just have to be switched on for 90 minutes because some of the games that I watched, like a lot of the goals, because like mistakes from them try being overzealous and stuff like that. So if they can keep themselves in check and then kind of like let that aggression out towards the attacking third, it would bode well for them. I'm actually looking forward to their group. I think they will win their group.
I don't think so. I think the Turks would win.
I think for the US to win the group.
Turkey coming in with a lot of experience. The players play for big clubs, so they have that pressure. They know that pressure, and they can also withstand the weather because Turkey, the Turkish weather, it gets rough on both ends. When it gets cold, it gets really cold. When it gets hot, it gets really, really hot. Especially where they are. They are more like a Eurasia country, sort of, right?
I think a lot of the games we played on the West Coast, like I think they'll play this first game, isn't it Kansas, which is going to be very, very hot, right? Yeah, and then they come down, and the US comes down to play in LA. I think most of the games will be on the West Coast.
Yep, and they have a very good squad, right? Burak Yilmaz, Ada Güler, Efrechan Kavechi is going to be there. Ismail Yukusek is going to be there as well. Like Bayindir from Man United is going to be one of the goalkeepers for them as well. Altai. Zeki Celik from AS Roma as well. I think the Turks are likely going to win. I think that the US might come in second and still qualify out of the group. But listen, if they finish first, I'm not going to be surprised though. Between Paraguay and Australia, I think Paraguay will finish third. Australia is going to finish fourth. Paraguay because the weather is going to favor them. Yeah, Australia because they don't have the Tim Cahills and Mark Vidukes of the world these days.
In as much as it is a North American tournament, it's also very much a South American tournament.
It is. It's more. Yes. I totally agree. Anyway, all right. So that's that with Group D. We've given our shouts. We've given our predictions. Let's go to Group E. The Diamond Shaft Germany, the German machine, well-oiled drilled machine. Curaçao with
Ecuador.
the elephants of Ivory Coast, Les Elephants of Ivory Coast, and Ecuador. Ecuador are also a World Cup team since they qualified in 2006. They are almost always there. And this year, they're coming with William Pacho in central defense. They're coming with Moises Caicedo in central midfield. I think they are forced to reckon with. Don't you think so?
They are, and like I said, in as much as the North American World Cup, it's also a very South American World Cup. They will relish playing in this one because it mimics what they play in the weather they play in South America, and they'll be up for it. And they have they are very strong side in terms of the kind of players they have. Very strong players on the ball, very physical, and I think this group will also be one of the groups that will be very interesting because we would all think Germany should essentially walk the group, but I think this German side are too suspect to put together the kind of performances they would need to win all three group games. So I think this group, I think Ecuador and Ivory Coast will have a lot to say in this group. I love the Ivory Coast, the way they play.
I totally agree.
The kind of players they have, but my problem is just like some of the other teams that.
The concentration to stay through a 90-minute football match, right?
Exactly. When you expect them to be like, okay, you have enough going for it. Just stay logged in. Just stay logged in. And
that's the thing. We get too excited as Africans and then we lose it at the end. And that's what the Europeans usually get over us.
Yeah.
But you mentioned something about Germany. They're bringing back Manuel Neuer. The coach, Julian Nagelsmann, feels that he doesn't have enough quality at right back, so he's going to move Joshua Kimmich from midfield to right back, which I think is a mistake because there's a good partnership between Pavlovic and Joshua Kimmich at the club level. You can just replicate that same model at the national team level. But he's moved him to World Cup. Hey, what can I say? I'm just
he's the one that has been paid to do the job. But if he decided to if he decided to shoot himself in the foot, I mean, it bodes well for Ivory Coast and all the other teams that are trying to make it out of the group. So
I agree. And then Jamal Musiala, he's still not 100% after the horrible injury that he had.
Florian Wirtz, always good for the national team, but
always good for the national team.
For Liverpool this season. He has been. He was better in the latter part, but we were expected far more from him than what he produced.
I agree. I think it's an underwhelming Germany side if we are being honest with each other.
And there's also
they are very beatable. Yes, I think they are very beatable. I think the teams should be brave, but also be cautious. Be brave
because they still have a lot of quality in the final third. Because Havertz, will put the ball in the back of the net when the chance is given. Florian Wirtz, as much as he's not put up trees at Liverpool. He does well in the national team, so he will get the goals and then create the chances in the national team. So,
and that's my concern, right? My concern is that does he have that personality to carry the weight of the national team? Because it looks as though he has to do it. Remember, they are missing Gnabry, and so it's Leroy Sané who even he hasn't been the best. He hasn't been in the best of forms. He doesn't even start regularly for Galatasaray.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to be him and Jamal Musiala, who has lost a yard of pace and confidence, especially after the injury.
I think the injuries has done a lot.
Yeah. And then there's Walter Mada, who's now reinventing himself as a number 10. I don't know how that's going to go.
He started so well at Newcastle, but at the turn of the year, the goals haven't been flowing. Even though he kind of puts himself about as much as possible.
I don't think he will succeed as a number 10. They should go back and play him as a number 9. He should make it his own.
He will. He will at some point.
Yeah, and I'm rooting for the Ivory Coast, right? I'm rooting for them. I think they have enough quality across all facets of the team. So from defense to attack to really make an impact at the tournament. And of course, they are camping in Delaware. They train in Philadelphia. So of course, as Philly fans, they're all rooting for them in Philly. We think Germany is going to finish first, don't we? Because they're tournament side.
Yeah, I think they will end up finishing first, but it won't be comfortable.
They won't be comfortable.
I think they will finish third. I'm going to let.
You think Germany will finish third?
Yep.
That's a bold prediction, and that's what I love about Mangana. He always has the balls to make a bold prediction. So Germany to finish third, and between Ecuador and Ivory Coast. Let's not forget that the Ecuadorians will be favored a lot by the weather as well.
Yeah,
they have real shatters coming in. Do you know who's leading the attack for them?
I hope it's not Ena Valencia.
He's called Johnny Yeboah. He's called Johnny Yeboah. I promise you not. He plays for Venezia. Johnny Yeboah plays for Ecuador. So that's the beauty of immigration once again, right?
I think there'll be a lot of upsets in this World Cup, and I'm tipping Germany to be one of those upsets. So they'll come in third, but they'll still qualify, but they'll come in third. And then I have Ecuador and Ivory Coast finishing in the 1 and 2.
Fantastic. All right, moving up quickly. Let's go to Group F. And Group F features Netherlands led by Virgil van Dijk, possibly his final tournament. Japan, over there's Kubo for Japan. Sweden, of course, led by Isaac and Jokeres Victor. Tunisia,
bold prediction for this group.
All right, let's move on. There. Okay. I can't wait to hear that. So there's a Carthage Eagles of Tunisia. Funny enough, they were the very first African country to win a football match at the World Cup. And guess what? They have never ever qualified out of the group. It's like they are always there. I'm not sure if you've noticed. Tunisians, they are always there. They don't have a star man. They always find a way to qualify, and then they go and then they just shake their pants.
That will weigh heavy on them. That will weigh heavy on them. But this group, I think Japan and Sweden make it out of the group 1 and 2.
Japan and Sweden?
Yeah.
Japan and
the
Sweden.
Japanese have a very good team. And they've always been very disciplined in how they play.
Like we talked said about the South Koreans, right?
Yeah, you underestimate them at your own peril.
I agree.
I think they might win the group, and then Sweden will come in second.
Wow. So you're putting the Netherlands third.
Just because Tunisia has never qualified out of the group, that's the reason why Netherlands will be third.
Oh, well, I think that's too harsh. You know, they boost the midfield of the potential starting midfield 3 of Frankie de Jong, right?
Yeah.
Gravenberch and Tijani Rangers.
They'll be reminded where they are playing them.
Let me finish one. Of course, leading the attack is our very own Memphis Nyame. Memphis Nyame leading the attack and likely to be flanked by
the Netherlands
Joga Bonita, right? So total football of the Netherlands. Let's see how that's gonna go. Possibly a return to the 4-3-3, which would, I think, morph into a 3-4-3 when they have the ball, because likely that Van der Ven, who plays as a left back for them these days, is going to stick in, invert and then form a 3 in defense with what's his name? Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
And then maybe Van Hecke, if I'm not mistaken, right? So it's going to be interesting. The goals definitely would have to come from Memphis Depay. He's the all-time top scorer of the country. And at tournament, he always shows up. Let's not forget that Wout Weghorst is also with the tournament. Is also with the team. Wout, yes. And then Jeremy Frimpong missed out.
Hey,
hardworking.
Jeremy Frimpong, I don't think there's any argument about him missing out. Like
if you look at the right back options,
he's performed woefully for Liverpool. He's not like they've really virtually bullied him anytime he was playing on the wing, like on the right wing, on the right fullback position. Like they had their way with him. And it's difficult to call up a player who is not informed into a team that I think will be terrible. Right.
Anyway, all right. So there you have it for Mangana. I personally don't think the Netherlands will finish third. I think they can finish second.
So who do you think will come out? Will be first?
They'll finish first. Netherlands will finish first. I think Sweden and Japan would fight for second and third. Anyway, let's go to Group G. We have Belgium. We have Egypt.
Yes.
We have Iran. And then we have New Zealand. In there.
Chris Wood.
Hey, listen, I fancy Egypt qualifying out of this group.
Egypt too are also very poor World Cup. Poor World Cup team.
I agree, but they are very pragmatic these days. The Brazilians didn't have it easy against them. I think they will make it out of the group.
And I think
they are playing New Zealand and Iran.
This Belgium team is not as it's not as
it's
good
not
as
strong.
the teams of the past.
It's not
really
strong.
strong.
Yeah,
So
it's not strong. Yeah.
I think that this group is I think it's wide open for the 1 and 2. Like if you can have a decent performance, you can definitely make it and qualify out of this group.
I agree. I expect Egypt to get out. I think it's Salah's final tournament. I think he's going to do it.
So you're going to go Belgium and Egypt?
Belgium, and I don't think a best third place finish will come out of this group.
Yeah,
the rest are Zuku teams.
I think like even with Iran, just even with the whole geopolitical nature where they can't literally stay overnight, they have to
distraction, a
fly
lot of
in,
distraction.
all of that, flying in overnight to come and play your game and then leave would put some, like, in terms of like just having to fly in, the preparation in terms of leading up into a game is not going to be like they've done for other teams. So I think that will definitely hamper them a bit. So yeah, I think the one is one of those groups where 1 and 2 will be clear and then 3 and 4 will be like,
Exactly. Anyway, all right, Group H. A lot of people's favorites to win the tournament. Spain, Spain, Cape Verde, Cape Verde. There's Saudi Arabia, and then there's Uruguay.
I mean, Saudi Arabia gave us a big upset in the last World Cup. So are they gonna do it again?
First game they beat Argentina.
Yeah, probably not, because Spain don't play about.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the other piece about Spain is that you see, so when they won the Euros, right, a couple of years ago, they had a focal point in attack in Morata, who was very good.
Yeah,
they had wingers who were very sharp and were ready to kill. Nico Williams has had a very horrible season.
Yep.
Right on the left, and he's likely to be there. Now on the right, on the other hand, is Lamine Yamal, whose status we don't know whether or not he's going to be 100% ready on day one.
I mean, 70% Lamine Yamal still does bits.
I agree with you, but all I'm trying to say in that is that I don't think Spain would win the tournament. I know I'm jumping the gun. We are talking about the group dynamics. I don't think Spain would win the tournament.
My tournament favorites already will have people with their feelings.
So we'll get into that as we record. But
I mean, we have that in probably the second part. But yeah, we can still bring them up.
Yeah. But honestly, I agree with you. I don't think Saudi Arabia can repeat the magic that they pulled up, a couple of years ago.
But Cape Verde Cape Verde have not looked badly at all in terms of the
but I think Uruguay might be too strong for them. Uruguay,
Uruguay and Uruguay this is a young Uruguay. This is the Uruguay with legs.
Yeah, like imagine a South American team with legs.
Yeah, this is a Uruguay with legs. So yeah,
imagine a South American team with legs. They already have legs, and they are young again with legs. So I think this might be too tough for them. For Cabo Verde, I expect Spain and Uruguay to finish.
Yep, 1 and 2.
1 and 2. All right, let's move on to Group I. In Group I, we have, of course, Allez le Bleu, France.
Yay.
We have the Teranga. yes.
Teranga Lions.
The Teranga Lions of Senegal. We have Iraq.
The Vikings.
We have Norway, whom I strongly believe could possibly be the dark horses. The only thing that's working against them is the weather.
I strongly believe they will struggle.
That's what I'm saying. The only thing working against them is the weather.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, they're not even going to be dark horses. Like they will struggle.
Like the weather is going to hurt them, because if you look at their team, right, they have a very decent team. They can have Selot and Haaland in attack. They can have people like Odegaard and Sheldrop. If anyone follows the Portuguese league, he plays for Benfica, amazing left winger, and his growth curve comes on the back of conviction, where he was convicted of distributing, I don't want to mention the name, but yes, after that conviction, he just turned a new leaf and he started playing amazing football.
He's turned into a beast.
Honestly, and Mourinho couldn't drop him. Like, he was always playing, and he was very, very efficient. So I feel, and in midfield, they have Sandenberg over there. They have Olsens, who's a very, very decent midfielder over there as well. I think that barring the weather, they could have been a very, very decent side. It could possibly be a dark horse. I think the weather might be too much for them.
Yeah.
But, looking at the group dynamics, we do expect France to qualify.
Of course.
We also expect Senegal to qualify as Africans. They are champions, and we expect Sadio Mane in his last World Cup to lead them out of the group.
I think out of all the African teams, I think when it comes to squad and talent, I think they have like an abundance in terms of not like in the forward positions, but like midfield and defense. I think they are strong enough, and I think this group, bar France, you can take points out of any of the others. So if they've been a well coached side for the last 3-4 tournaments, they've really built the team from the last 3-4 tournaments, they've been just good and effective coming forward, and then with Sadio Mane being their talisman, and him, when you see even in their friendly games, when you watch him, you could see like he knows this is his last tournament, and he's switched on to make sure that he's going to go out, or retire from the national team with the best performance that he could ever give them in a World Cup, and I think they will go far.
Right. I agree with that. I think I expect Senegal to make it out of the group. Iraq and Norway. I think Norway, the weather would work against them, unfortunately. All right, let's go to Group J. Group J, Lionel Messi inspired Argentina. Remember, they painted the tail of their aircraft that brought them to the tournament.
Yeah,
the number 10 jersey.
They'll take it back home very quickly. They'll take it back home very quickly.
Well, they're in the same group against Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. I think Jordan will be the whipping boys. The weather will favor them. I don't think they have enough quality and talent to make it out
Jordan will definitely be the whipping boys. I'm tipping Argentina on Algeria to make it out of the group.
Algeria to make it out of the group. Riyad Mahrez's possibly last tournament as well.
Because Algeria are also like a very good side, like a very well coached side. They play good enough.
I would say don't sleep on the Austrians. They are coached by a very, very experienced Ralf Rangnick.
Yeah,
they have very, very experienced players. They know how to navigate their way out of tight situations. And my worry with Algeria, for instance, is that first of all, now they don't have the talent that they had a couple of years ago. Players like Atal, players like Riyad Mahrez, all the other insanely talented players that they have. Unfortunately, this is a different generation. I strongly believe the Austrians would finish second.
All right.
I mean, Algeria could qualify as a top.
I'll be shocked if the Austrians finish second. But like I said, I have my African bias for this World Cup, so I'm hoping a lot of the African teams can make it out of the group, and the more that make it out of the group, the better.
I agree. All right. So I'm tipping Austria to finish second. We hope Algeria could upset them. Argentina we believe are going to finish first. Let's not forget they play as bandits.
Yeah, Argentina
in every tournament.
Argentina will win, and then they'll go out in the round of 32.
Mangana with a prediction. Let's not forget that. I will
personally put Messi back on the plane.
Oh my goodness gracious. Messi fans, don't listen to him. Anyway, but I think Argentina are in there. They will want to defend their World Cup trophy.
Yeah. But they won't be able to.
Likely they have a fit against Lisandro Martinez, who formed a very watertight partnership with Cuti Romero on their way to winning the Copa America.
Just because of the soft spot I have for Lisandro Martinez. I might let them get past the round of 32. But then they'll go out in the round of 16.
Let's double click into them just a little bit. They are bringing back Fikao at left back. Dibu Martinez is likely going to be in post again. Right back is likely going to be Montiel.
And we'll have to speak to the referees.
Yeah, of course. We've seen the nonsense they've been doing in the MLS.
We've seen it.
We've seen the nonsense they've been doing in MLS. But
even
anyway,
the recent friendly they played, there was a penalty that they were awarded. I was like,
oh my goodness, come on, ref,
the tournament has even started.
But hey, we as Ronaldo fans, we are also praying for our own rigged World Cup, and so that takes us nicely. It's a beautiful segue into Group K. K for Kweku. And of course, we have Portugal, led by Cristiano Ronaldo Aveiro dos Santos. Call him CR7. Call him C Nana.
And the true talisman of the team, Bruno Miguel Borges Fernandes.
Listen, respect yourself, right? Respect yourself.
We are talking about the only way they are going anywhere is in Bruno.
Listen, if we mention top 10 players of all time in Portugal, Bruno's name won't come up. So let's move
that's why we're not mentioning top 10 all time. We're mentioning who is going to take them to the final.
I don't even remember when he was decisive in a cup winning game for them. If you can remind me when he was decisive.
Don't worry about it.
The last time they won the trophy was in the UEFA Nations League. And he wasn't decisive.
I said, don't worry about it. When he's lifting the World Cup. When he's lifting the World Cup,
well, the good thing is that he won't lift the World Cup. It's Cristiano Ronaldo that's going to lift the World Cup.
Ronaldo will be sad at halftime.
You know what? We don't have a problem. We want Ronaldo to be carried to the trophy. But when after he's carried to the trophy, that's when you people come and tell us.
That's when you do the agenda.
You see us. Anyway, so there's Dr. Congo over there. Now, Congo have
Yeah.
an interesting history with the World Cup. They used to be called Zaire.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Zaire qualified for the World Cup a couple of years ago, and they went with a lot of witches. By witches, not just witches and wizards, and native doctors, as we call them in Africa.
That's what you said. That's what you said.
Native
I don't know why would you say they went with witches and wizards. Oh my goodness. They went with witches and wizards.
They went with witches and wizards.
That was a technical team. That was a technical team.
I'm serious. They made history as the third African nation to qualify for the World Cup. And at the time, they were being supported big time by Mobutu Sese Seko. And so he flew a delegation of juju men, traditional healers.
Traditional healers? What does that do with the traditional healers?
Now, they lost their first game 2-0 to Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
They lost 3-0 to Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost 9-0 to Yugoslavia.
I can guarantee you one thing. They are not going to lose by that margin this World Cup.
Of course, they are led by Chancellor Mbemba. They have Gal Kakuta in there. They have a lot of good players. And again, the beauty of immigration once again showing up for the Dr. Congo side, right?
Wow.
I'm just saying it. And then there's the Kusanov inspired Uzbekistan, and then there's the James Rodriguez, Richard Rios, John Arias, Colombia. Hey, listen, I think the Colombians would finish second in the group.
Like I said, South American World Cup as much as a North American World Cup. Yeah.
Yep, I think the Colombians finish second.
I think this group is clear. It's Portugal, Colombia coming out of the group.
Portugal, Colombia.
Yeah.
If Dr. Congo does well, I think they should be able to finish third, because I think they should find a way to navigate past Uzbekistan. Sorry.
I'm sure their medical team are on their brooms on the way, so.
On the brooms. Anyway, so that's almost that's it for part one. But let's double click a little bit into the Portuguese side, right?
Yeah.
Because of course they have CR7 in there. They've deliberately played a lot of South American sides leading up to the World Cup.
Yeah,
it's a lot
very
of
important.
Them because they've fallen to a lot of South American teams in the past. They fell to Uruguay in 2018 inexplicably. Now they're going to play against Colombia in the group, and they're very wary of the Colombians, especially playing in North America. And so you look at the friendly matches that they played in harsh conditions against South American sides just to get ready. And fortunately, they found a way to win. But again, the World Cup is a different beast altogether.
Yeah. And I mean, like Portugal, they have a very good midfield. Like, I think they have a beautiful blend of midfield players that cover every position within the center of the park. So I think for a lot of times it wouldn't even matter which three you pick.
The unfortunate thing is that Mangana, they left the actual warriors. When it gets hard, sometimes you need people who will just fight and wrestle their way through. People like Joao Palina and people like Mateus Fernandes. You dropped all those boys. So that's my worry. Because when you play against these South American sides, sometimes it's not about the tippy-tappy that you do. You need someone to fight with them.
We are hoping that we won't fight. We are hoping to win the tournament without a fight.
You see, and a wise man once said, and probably we can end with this, hope is never a strategy. So all too soon, we just, we bring the curtains to a close on part one of our World Cup preview. We laid it all out. Our predictions. We've given, everything that we can give so far for the first, 11 group L. We're going to double click a lot more into it.
Of course, knowing the Ghanaian influence, of course, you didn't think we're just going to give you 5 minutes on group L. We have to, give you in-depth analysis into how the Ghanaian team is going to top the group.
Listen, all right, guys. I plead the fifth. I can't say anything about Ghana topping the group. But what I can say for sure is that 50-50 Football Podcast would be at the stadium for the vibes, and for all the footage that we can get for you guys. We are going to stream live a couple of, we'll stream live, what's happening outside the stadium, tailgating in Philadelphia. We can cut it for you. I'm not sure if the people up north in Boston are going to allow us to tailgate, but if they allow us to tailgate, we'll definitely be there with our jollof. We are shame. But hey, shouts to Mayor Parker in Philly. She allowed us to tailgate over here.
Under no circumstance will should the Black Stars allow Usula to do a kaklika before we do it.
Oh my goodness gracious. That's important. Important. Anyway, all right, guys. So
national celebration.
It's a wrap. All right, we'll catch you on the other one. Share your thoughts, share your comments. Let us know what you think about the groups and our predictions so far. Please tell us you disagree with us and tell us why. And we'll read your comments. And we hope to see you. We hope to see you at one of these games. And please, when you see us, please feel free to say hello to us and join our live as well.
They didn't even know you.
Guys, all right. You see my picture soon. All right, it's a wrap, guys.